G'day folks, welcome to another episode of Bandaged Cube Creations. Well, today we look at a golden oldie. This one is the Bandaged 3, the CUBETWIST Bandaged 3. You might be saying, why are you saying CUBETWIST? All the tiles have CUBETWIST on them. Yes, what I mean is before they produced the DIY kit, they produced 6 standalone puzzles. And they didn't sort of pull off and on. They were glued down, proper puzzles, I suppose. Then they thought of the kit, and in one sense that was a genius move, and in another sense they never produced another Bandaged cube. And I don't know why they don't do a 4x4 Bandaged kit. I mean, they haven't produced any more 4x4 puzzles since the original one, so I reckon they should. CUBETWIST, if you're watching, what am I kidding? They're not watching. Okay, let's get on with this. I haven't looked at this puzzle for a long time. I mean, I've looked at it very recently, but not for 10 years at least since I was doing this, probably 12 years. And I kind of was a little bit hesitant in terms of, should I really do the CUBETWIST ones? Well, I'm not going to do all of them, I don't think, but certainly this one I am. This is a nice puzzle. And the first thing you got to get your head around is how do you scramble it and keep these silly things out of the way? Well, I mean, even if you try and do that, you're still straight away, cool, I can scramble it. But it is a little bit off-putting initially just to work out, where do I put these things? Oh, look, I've just solved it. Where do I put these so that I can actually go ahead and scramble it? That's part of the fun, so I'm going to skip through to when it is scrambled and leave that for you. Okay, well, here we are. This is a reasonably decent scramble. Most pieces are not where they belong. In fact, I guess you could say all pieces. You might look at that and think, well, that's where it belongs. Not really, because that's not correct. So anyway, this is the Bandaged 3. How are we going to approach it? Well, contrary to what you might think, a lot of my solves of bandage puzzles so far, what I've done is go ahead and place the bandage parts, if for no other reason than just to get a handle on where we are. For this one, what I'm going to do is pretend that I'm solving a cube and do it in a really standard fashion. And you'll see how it differs as we go along. But what I mean is the first thing I'm going to do is solve the white edges. Okay, so this one, I don't particularly care about this one yet because it's blocking something that I do want to solve here. So I think about the other piece, which is a white and a red, which is going to live on here somewhere. So the two pieces that are on their own are these two. And that's the two that I want to solve first. Now, there's no specific rhyme or reason because it depends on where the pieces are. You can see this white orange is one of the ones that I want, and it's really trapped in here. So you've just got to carefully think your way through what is going on. Let's maybe have a look at the white green. And I will initially put that one up there, which will enable me to turn the white green around. Then I can place it there. And you'll notice just putting this sort of thing opposite where it wants to go, that's going to be a common-ish theme. Now, this white orange is now a little bit untrapped. The question for me is, can I turn it like that and get this white orange up to there? No. However, if I could turn this off, that might be a goer. I'll just test that. I can move that one there. That's looking good because I can turn that up and then put them back into position. Okay, excellent. So not too difficult normally, just a matter of working your way through them. I then want to place either of the other two white ones. So this one here, that's gone straight in, which is nice. This one here, it's not going to go straight in, so I've got to do some kind of, I guess, I don't know if you'd call it flipping or what, but let's see what I can do. Now I can tell that it's got to go around like that. Question is that out? These two both look very nicely out of the way now. So I think what I would do is, I reckon I can just 3-cycle that, can I? I can just 3 cycle that home. Beautiful. Okay, all the white edges are done. Now, you'll notice on this white face, there's 2 corners left. One corner is between, very like adjacent to the 2 bandaged parts. The other one is not near them. I'm interested in this corner between them. I don't want to solve it. I just want to use it. Now, the third piece is this red, blue, yellow, which sits in this position, and I want to solve that last. And you might be wondering, why would I solve that last and not first? Well, the reason is that it sits, you can see the yellow sticker there. So if you can imagine that coming around, it sits there. And if it's sitting there, I cannot turn the yellow face while I solve the others. So what I want to do is just kind of initially put this, I was going to turn that, I obviously can't. Why can't I? Because I don't have the correct corner underneath. And that is why. Now that I've got that, I'm able to turn either of those faces up. So I might just turn that up and put it out the way for now. Now, I said I wanted to do that last, which means I've got to do the green, orange position, and I've got to do the red, green position as well. So the red, green is sitting here. So let's do the green, orange. Now, as to how to get that in, you just take it case by case and say, well, that clearly is going in like that. So because I've got the bandage part over here, I can turn that off, bring it up, and notice that as I bring it up, this piece does not interfere. And that's the beauty of having this little corner between the 2 pieces. If I had this corner and I try and turn anything, nothing turns. Okay, so that's got the green orange in. Let's turn it around so the useful corner is underneath the red green, and that is also sitting here. Now, if it wasn't in that position, maybe it was over there or maybe it was flipped, you would just turn it around until it is in a useful position. Well, this one here, I can now turn it up, on, and in it goes. Now that leaves me with my last one. Now, believe it or not, what I'm going to do for the last one is place it straight away. And I'm going to see what the lay of the land is. So I can't place it like that. It's got to go to another direction. So let's say that I actually need it like that, and then it's going to go down there. So in order to place it, I'm going to turn it off, position up, put it on, and in. Right, now that means all of the first 2 layer edges are done. Now clearly at the moment I've got problems. I can't turn the yellow face, I've got flipped edges, and I might even have swapped edges, I don't know. So I'm going to deal with those things one at a time. The first thing I'm going to deal with is any flipped edges. Now the thing that I want to do to be able to deal with these is a front turn, a down turn, and a front prime. And you'll notice that has put these out of the way, and it's kept all the yellow edges on the top. Now that that is there, I can go and flip these 2 edges in exactly the standard fashion that I would normally use. A down, down, up, up, and then turn it across, position up, undo, undo. Those 2 are flipped. While I'm at it, let's get the other 2. By the way, if I had 2 to flip that were opposite, I personally would just flip these 2 and then these 2. No big deal. Let's do that again to flip these ones. All right, for now, let's pop that one down, and let's go put the pieces back to where they belonged so we can see what's happening. Now, our yellow pieces are there. We can also observe yellow, green, yellow, red are in, yellow, blue, yellow, orange are swapped. So we have a swap of 2 pieces. Well, how would we normally deal with that? We would turn a face 1 turn. So once again, I want to do this move, and then I want to turn my face 1 turn. Now, in order to solve these edges now, perhaps technically there may be some kind of way to do this with these pieces down here, but I found it extremely difficult. And on the other hand, what is very, very simple is just to use Sune to cycle them around. And that is what I'm going to do. You'll notice here that the orange edge is in, and I have to go red to green to blue. So I need to do it with this as my right face. So I'll do a setup like that. It's going to cycle those 3. That's all done. I'll undo that setup. The edges are now all done. and I can go ahead and replace these. And I hope you'll agree that putting this here and then just getting it out of the way and dealing with these yellow edges is actually pretty painless. I'm not fussed about using Sune there because I'm going to have to use it later on. I don't see any other alternative than that. Well, actually I do, because 10, 11, 12 years ago when I did this puzzle, I used some quite convoluted combination of corner piece series and mirror corner piece series and turns in the middle. Well, that was what I was doing back then, and nothing wrong with that. It's just I think using a Sune and its mirror is much simpler, particularly on bandaged puzzles. Okay, so where are we? We've now got to place some corners. Now, again, we want to get things so they're out of the way, but we want to have the positioning so that I can use the corner piece series. Now, let's have a look what that might look like. As an example, if I was to hold it in this position, so I've got, before I was doing that with the yellow face on top, I kind of want to do this, and it doesn't matter if it's red on top and blue on the side, or if it's white on top and red, it makes no difference as long as it's sort of this configuration. What I really want to do is something like a left turn, if it's like that, then a front turn, and then a left prime. Now, the reason that is superlatively good is because it has two of these pairs parallel, and the third pair, even though it's on what's going to be my top face, it is not going to get in the way of my corner piece series. Now let's just come back and have a look. If I undo those moves, what I'll notice is that these two corners here, let's follow them, white, orange, green, and white, blue, red. You'll see that they land on this top face. The other corners, these three, are sitting down here. So these two, I actually don't want to solve them straight away. I want to leave them till last along with one of the other ones. So ideally, what I would probably be doing is trying to solve these ones at the back. Now you'll notice the yellow, orange, blue is in. So I would next look at this and say, I need to get the yellow, orange, green where the yellow, green, red is. Now with this setup, I can happily turn my back face as I wish. And what that's done is now put the yellow, orange, green able to turn onto that one. Now in this position with the pair here, I can carry out any corner piece series. I can also do it in this position if I do the mirror. So in this case, because my piece movement is like that, I've got 1, 2, 3 pieces and I want to move them clockwise. I need to have it set up there so I can do a mirror corner piece series, which is going to move the pieces clockwise. So in order to do that, I now want to do an up prime, left prime, up, right. This is nothing more than the corner piece series. Up prime, left, up, right prime. There it is. Now, you remember that I did have a setup first, and that setup was that I had to turn this upper face from here to here. So I'll now turn that back, and you'll also remember that I did one turn of the back face, and that has placed that yellow, orange, green corner. Now, that being the case, remember that that one was already done, so that's not always going to happen. So I might have a second time that I need to do that to place both of these ones at the back. That now leaves 3 corners to place here in this position. So I want to think, well, this one is the yellow, green, red. So that's got to go there. This one must go here. This one must go here. There's no other corners that I need to think about. So that's pretty straightforward. That's the movement. It's an anti-clockwise movement. So therefore, I'm doing a upper turn clockwise first turn, a standard corner piece series. All done. Now, let's go ahead and put these pieces back to where they belong. And what you'll notice is that that has gone into its correct position, so has that, and that has as well. Which means we're very close to solving this thing. And the last step is to twist any corners that need twisting. Now again, I want us to look at what corners land in these positions because, well, initially, let's just check if that's the position we want. Left, front, left prime. In fact, it's not, because we can't turn the right face here at all. So what we want once that position is done is to say this is going to be the face that we turn. This is our right face. This is our upper face. So I want pieces up on this yellow face. So before we start, I will admit it looks like there are 3 corners that need to be twisted. But you'll remember there were actually only 2. So let's go back, whoops, and see which 2 they were. White, orange, green, clockwise, yellow, red, green, anti-clockwise. They are the only 2 that need twisting. Now, in this case, there they are. So I've just got to think, can I happily get these into a sensible position? And I think I can. The white, orange, green going clockwise means that I want it at the back. This one, I want at the front. So I would probably do a setup like front prime. Now, will this work? In fact, front prime, up prime, front, up prime, which should put them where I want them. I'm going to have to remember that setup at the end. I probably won't. What was it? Front prime, up prime, front, up prime, I think. Now, we are now in a position to do the Sune and the Sune mirror. So let's carry out the Sune. And if you lose track of things now, you're cooked. And now let's do the left-hand Sune. Now, I can't turn that. So what I need to do in the middle is just move that bottom part so that I can turn this left face. And away I go. Okay, now I'm going to turn that back. Is that the right direction? No, it's that direction there, I think. And then undo my setups, or perhaps it was that direction. It might have actually been that direction. This is what I'm talking about. This is going to all come crashing to a halt, I'm sure of it. Up. Okay, I think I'm back in business, and I think my problem is I had that slice there. So I reckon when I turn this slice, the reason I kind of think this, I haven't tried it yet, but I reckon it will work, because when I do that first move, it looks like it comes back really nicely. So undoing those setup moves, I had to do an up turn, and then I had to do a, was it a front prime? So it was front prime, up prime, front, up prime. So that means this next one's got to be front prime, then it's up again, and then it's front. I am pretty happy with this. Now, when I come back to here, this was the configuration I had it in, so I should only be 3 turns away. I've mucked up worse. Here we go. Was it this one? Well, that's coming together very nicely. And then this one, and then this one. Okay, trust me, you didn't want to see me go through figuring out how to get those setups undone. I do that more than I'd like, just mucking up setups, the undoing of them. But I hope you can see, there it is. That's the Bandaged 3 puzzle. The setups aren't the problem. I mean, for me they are, but they shouldn't be. The method there, I think, is fairly straightforward for a what can be a nice challenging puzzle. Wow, thanks for sitting through all that. Well, here's the puzzle for the next video. This one is called the Stairs Top Bandaged Cube. Now, the only 2 pieces it has is this big clock here, running from, well, on the down face, from down back to down front. And it's also got a pair down left to down left front. That's it. Everything else is clear. So I'm not entirely sure why it's called Stairs Top. I suppose, I got no idea. Let's explore it in the next video.